I really enjoy twin stick shooters, particularly on the arcade side of the spectrum. You move fast, you dodge fast, you shoot fast, you clear waves of enemies quickly, but you can also be overwhelmed quickly too. It feels like a ballad of a dance, to be fair. And I also enjoyed the first couple of Tiny Troopers games that came out about 6 or 7 years ago. They were fun, irrelevant, silly, but enjoyable. So when Tiny Troopers Global Ops come out, I was just automatically picking it up, expecting more of the same. But there is a single problem that permeates throughout all of the game design and the way how this game plays on console that really frustrated me. And this is a mobile port, or it feels like a mobile first game that's then been ported to console without all of the required nuances and tweaks and the precision that you expect from a console game rather than it being like a touchscreen mobile affair. In this game you can play single player and have up to 3 AI compatriots kind of running around shooting for you, and they are dumb, they get stuck on things, they try to shoot in the right direction and vaguely get there. They aren't a total hindrance, but you will kind of go, oh for goodness sake, quite often. However, you can do 2 to 4 players in local co-op and online is cross-play as well, which is a great feature to have. In this game, you've got about 35 missions where you're going to go through 6 different chapters, shooting various enemies and doing one of a couple of different things. Either running to small arenas, clearing waves of enemies and then detonating things and getting the hell out of there to your helicopter. You'll either be rescuing various different civilians or captured people and then getting them through waves of enemies and taking them to your helicopter. Oh yes. Or you'll be laying down explosives, detonating things in areas, clearing waves of enemies and getting to your helicopter. Spotting the trend. And this is done across various different missions and maps. Each map is different, but they are all structured very, very similarly. So it's like lots of tiny interconnected corridors, usually with loads of mines on that you have to roll through. And then coming to small arenas with lots of like sandbags and bunkers and all of that kind of stuff for you to wander around. There is an absolute ton of furniture in this game. And what I mean by that is like sandbag walls, crates, rocks, trees, water, lakes, all of that kind of stuff, boats. It's all there and it all gets in your way. And this might work okay for when you're trying to run around on a touchscreen with mobile because you kind of clip onto things and get stuck everywhere. But it's as if the collision detection for everything has been blown up for like a HD screen. I was playing this on PS5. But the hit detection boxes have also blown up at the same time. So there's tons of invisible walls. There's times where you can see that you should be able to get to an area, but you're just walking around an invisible wall trying to work out where it ends so that you can ham-fistedly get your way in there. Your AI compatriots also then just get stuck. And so when there's mines about to go off, they don't really roll out of the way or save themselves or anything like that whatsoever. They just kind of get stuck in invisible walls or bits of furniture in the world and lose health. It's not very helpful. This also then applies to the way how you shoot, because you, particularly when you get away from your basic gun, and there's only 3 like primary guns that you can choose from as you upgrade your character throughout the game, but they get more scattergunny, and so what looks like you missing is quite often also a hit, and then what looks like a hit is quite often also a miss, because it's as if again the game has ballooned out the graphics but also ballooned out and changed some of the hit detection, and everything feels off. And you wouldn't notice this if you was on a really tiny screen in your hand just going around shooting things randomly. This would feel probably quite good. But when you've got it in HD and everything's slightly missing and things just feel woolly and nothing feels connected or precise in any way, shape or form, it starts to feel cheap, nasty, and also unsatisfying to play. And I didn't necessarily think I would get this playing Tiny Troopers Global Ops. Now, I've spent the last couple of minutes being very, very negative, and the reason why I'm being so negative is that this feels like a real missed opportunity, because the fundamentals are here for a pretty decent twin-stick shooter. There's 5 secondary weapons that are far more interesting than the main ones. You've got like a grenade and grenade launchers and fire, like a flamethrower and all of that kind of stuff. You barely get to use them because they rarely pop up for you to play with, so you're just going around with your main shooties. But it does get satisfying when you lob a grenade or you launch a rocket and it takes down a massive enemy tower, and then you barrel roll through like 6 mines, take out some enemy drones, and then run and collect a dog tag. There's moments where the moment-to-moment gameplay really clicks and works, but as soon as you expect precision for what it is that you're doing, particularly as it gets into more enclosed spaces, that frustration takes over because it feels like you aren't in control of your destiny, and it's really frustrating. I'll also say that the comedy in this game does not land. It's trying to send up lots of different tropes, I guess. Some of it's quite UK-centric, but some of it is also around sending up like typical baddie films and stuff like that. But it just doesn't land at all and is really forced and over the top. And it's humour that intentionally tries to outstay its welcome to make a point of being ha ha ha, it's funny, aren't we annoying? But it's so good at being annoying that it's just annoying. And so I found myself wanting to skip the cutscenes, and yeah, that was a bit annoying. This game took me just under 4 hours to complete. I'd got the vast majority of the trophies. There's loads of collectible dog tags, which expose quite a lot of this. It was a mobile that then turned into a console port, because quite a few of the dog tags are hidden in locations that are walled off by loads of invisible walls that I struggled to get through. So I was getting really annoyed and angry that I couldn't just walk through something that seemed like I should be able to walk through and get the dog tag. So I'll probably never get the platinum on this because I was so frustrated that I don't really want to spend more hours of my time wrestling against invisible walls and furniture in the game. Would I recommend this? At a deep sale, yes. I think the original Tiny Trooper games are better than this, and I think this is a real lesson to, if you're going to go mobile first for a game, particularly when it's a game like a twin stick shooter where it's about precision and feeling connected and grounded and immersed in the gaming and the game's play loop, you cannot afford to have really woolly movement, collision detection, shooting, hitboxes, and think you can get away with it and then charge it at a console price. And I think that's why I feel a little bit like more than usual about this, because if that had all been tweaked and sorted, I think there would have been a really decent game here. But as a result, I feel a little bit cheated on. Written review will be over on higherplayinggames.com. Get this on sale. Do not get this at full price. Interesting one though. And if you can find the original Tiny Troopers, I recommend that over this. That's still a good game. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.